One last question. Give us top secrets to succeeding in this land. How now they do one last we go. Another question is, we have big companies, and actually you're working with a big one. um, and we also have like small, medium-sized companies. My company is more of a medium-sized company, really. It's not one of those Microsoft, those big. What would you say are the pros and cons? What would you recommend? What are the advantages of a big company or a small company? Just big versus small company. What are your thoughts?
So personally, I do not have a preference because most companies here, I think they treat you well based on like there's certain
like there's
standard.
a standard.
Yeah, there's certain standards. So in that sense, I would say what is more important is when you're doing that interview, you're interviewing them too to make sure that
matches.
that they match what you want, right? So what exactly are they doing, right? What will a regular day be? So that's one of my good questions. What is a day in the life of an engineer in this corporation, in this company? Like, what does it? So they
guys have been given one free one, like
so they would have to tell you, oh well, every day is not the same.
I know that
BS.
Yeah.
But at least they get to give you an idea of what your day would look like, right? So you see how they interact with themselves, how they interact with you. You want a place where you feel respected, right? Where they have a good culture, where because even though we're in America, there still I've had cases of bosses that are like treating their reports like trash, right? So so I want to assess all those kind of stuff. I want to see what their what the total package is. I know sometimes people think, oh, the base salary is this amount, so this base salary is bigger than this, so I'm going to go with this one, right? So you want to know what the total compensation is, right? Because the base salary is only one part of it, right? There is other things,
other benefits.
You want to see what's the total benefit, how family friendly are they, right? Because
me, I'm big on that one too.
Yeah, because most people would get married at some point and would start a family, and you want to work in a place where they understand that the work is not the center of your universe. It's just one facet of your life, right?
You're not all about work.
Yeah. You also want to know how flexible is the job, right? Is it a job that can allow you to, like, since 2020 now, ability to work hybrid is big, right? So does it allow you to work hybrid? So those kind of things, I would give more weight to it than the name of the company. Like, so do they have leave if you have have a baby? Will they give you like leave? So some company, they will give the dad, they will give the mom. Right.
Paternity leave. Some companies do that now.
Stuff like that. So you want to weigh all those things. Now the bigger companies, they are more, because they are bigger, they have better structure for the most part, right? If you're an international student, you also want to know how is their immigration stuff, right? And that's one place where the big companies might have a better, they thrive better, right? Because they will usually have like a a particular department that takes care of immigration, right? Some of the smaller and medium scale company might
might just have to call a lawyer.
I might just call a lawyer somewhere. So but like in Intel, they have a structure. So from the day you start, the people will even email you first and say, hey, welcome, send us XYZ so that we can start the process, right? Some other places you have to work with the HR and remind them and ask them, right? So that is if you're, again, this would apply if you need that service, right? If you, like when I joined Intel, I didn't need that service because I was already a permanent resident. So But that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have been a
Much
big.
respect on that.
That would have
Like I
been.
heard your story. By the way, he's one of those early recipients of NIW process. So like the senior men, they got it. I don't know, 2018 or something like that. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
So those kind of things are those are the areas where the big companies
Mm,
would kind of like want to sway you, right? Because they have
mm,
all the structure in place. But then also sometimes you might get lost in the big companies, right? Because there's so many groups, so many departments. You're just like one out of
yes,
a million, right?
yes.
Versus in those smaller companies where you're seen and
Mm-hmm.
you might have more responsibility and your trajectory might be faster, right?
Yes.
Because the you're having to do a
You,
lot,
you,
right?
your hands
Yeah,
are
yeah.
on all the time.
And it's a smaller team, so
Yes,
maybe you are one out of four engineers versus maybe
yes,
you're one out of 10 engineers, right?
yes.
So,
That is
so there's
true.
that part too. So for me,
True.
I would think make sure you understand what the role entails and if it's something that you like, right?
Mm,
And then that would be at the core. And then you look at, okay, what are the benefits what are the opportunity that this role gives me, right?
mm.
And then if everything is matched, right, then I would now sway myself like maybe the bigger corporation might give me
Yeah.
more leverage. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel you. I totally agree with you. Especially, you see that hands-on thing you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's really true. Like, I was saying my company is like a medium-sized company,
Mm-hmm.
and in just 2 years, I've got to touch
Yeah.
different things.
Yep. Yep.
That
Work on multiple projects
yes,
and yeah,
and
you look back and you see what you've done
yes,
within a short
yes,
time.
you've
Yeah.
gained so much experience.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, the bigger ones are more structured, and
True.
that is true.
Yeah.
So yeah, one will have to wait and see like what
Yeah.
you prefer, right?
Yeah.
To boil down to what you personally prefer,
Yep.
something like that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, one last question before you go, boss.
Okay.
One last question. Give us top secrets to succeeding in this land. How now they do them? That is the question. Yeah. What are those things that you say, in America, you need this kind of character, or you need this kind of skills, or you need this kind of thing, you
Hmm.
know, to succeed here?
Does it have to be only one?
Please, plenty, plenty, I beg, as much as possible.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, when you said top secret, that kind of cracked me because
Okay.
this
Yeah.
country
Please.
there's
Oh.
top secrets.
Ah.
So, well, for me personally, and I don't shy away to say this,
Okay.
that at the core of who I am is
Mm.
God,
Yeah.
and
I feel you. I feel you.
he's the main
It's the
reason.
power behind
Is
it.
yeah,
It's the
he's the
power behind it.
unseen
The unseen force.
unseen force.
Woo!
Yeah. So while I was in UD, let me just go through this quickly. So when I came here, I had a friend in Texas.
Okay.
His name is Femi Akambi. He
Oh,
was did you know him?
that's my last name though, but I don't know
Oh,
him.
okay, okay. But he was like a mentor to me. He was a
Oh,
very good
nice.
big brother,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So when I came to this school, he was one of the advice he gave me was I should try and network with the students in the department in the school and try to know people, like pretty much what I mentioned here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I came in, I was trying to do that, right? So the students in my group, when they're going for lunch, I would go to lunch with them. Um, Even though I wasn't liking like the restaurant they would choose or the food they would get there, but just so that I'm networking, right?
Yes.
I would tag along
Yes.
and I would just go.
Whether the food is sweet or not. Oh
Yeah, I
my
would just
God.
like let me just go. So,
Yeah.
but about a month or two after my program here, I realized that there was a Catholic church on campus. So I'm a
Okay.
Catholic.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
Catholic church on campus that they have afternoon
Mass.
mass
Okay.
every day. And
Oh,
from
okay.
Nigeria, that's something I my family does that. We go
Mm,
for like daily mass.
okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, I can actually go for mass here every day, and it's very convenient. It's during my lunch break, right?
Mm.
So, but now there's a conflict because that's the same time I go to network
Ah.
with the students in my group, right?
Mm,
Even though I didn't enjoy it. So sometimes I would go for the mass, sometimes I would go with them, and at some point it was obvious that I was kind of like forcing myself to go out with them. When I go to the mass, I'm more happy, I'm more at peace, and
Yeah.
you know that's where I want to be. But going out with them, I'm only doing it because I want to network, right? So I had that tussle for like a couple of weeks,
Okay.
and suddenly I got like I believe that was God just
Yeah.
settling me.
The Holy
And what I
Spirit.
got was, are you if you go to mass, you're choosing to have lunch with God, right? You're networking with God, right? Versus networking with
Wow.
these guys, right?
This
Which networking with
so
my friends,
networking with man.
yeah,
Okay.
networking with them is good, right? But this is better, right? So um it became clear to me that okay, not going with them is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing to go out with them, but you have a better opportunity, right? Why not use it? So from that day I stopped going out. I just let them know that, oh, I usually get lunch from I would get packed lunch from home.
Yeah.
So I would get my lunch from, which is even better. It was even more cost effective for me, right? Like there was so
And
many,
sweet.
yeah,
I
you're
did say that.
spending more
Oh
going to
God.
eat in the restaurant. I don't even like the food, right?
I know.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pack lunch when I'm coming out in the morning,
Yeah.
and then I would go to mass quietly 30 minutes. After that, I would just go downstairs there, have my lunch, come back to my lab,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was what I did for the five and a half years I was
Oh,
here.
wow. Wow.
I was having my lunch with God every afternoon,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I think that's the core of all the success you were alluding to. Because at some point during my
Not a
program,
year, Sha.
at
Okay.
some point during my program, I had a very rough. My third year was very rough, and I was almost at the verge of being kicked out of the program.
Wow.
My third year, yeah. So, but that period, that was when it dawned on me that I made the right choice, because those my friends, those network I was trying to create, they would not have been able to help me. Like I know people in this school all the way to like the dean. Like the dean was, because the dean, I don't know if you met him. Ogunake, Dean
Yes, yes,
Ogunake.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that is late
Late,
now.
but
Yeah.
not to know. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like I
Know.
know him. Like I can go
Wow.
to his office and meet him, and I went as high as him then to help me with the issue. And he tried the much he could, but he couldn't help
Oh
me.
my God.
Right? But it was God that helped me then. Right? Because I believe God realized that he was my connection, right? So I won't go into detail about
You
that
chose
situation.
him. You
Yeah,
had already chosen him
yeah,
over
yeah.
man.
So he stood up for me then, and he fought for me the way my friends could not have fought for me, right? So for me personally, I would say that if there's only one thing I would tell you, that's it, right? But if
That's
I'm
good.
going to give you all the stuff, I would say obviously you want to try and be diligent in what you do, right?
Okay.
When you're here in this country, this is a land of opportunities, right? There is so much opportunities, but opportunities will be useless if you're not prepared for it, right? So you want to be diligent in what you do. You want to ask questions. You want to know
Be
something.
diligent.
Yeah,
Ask questions.
yeah. You want to know something before you need it, right? Remember I told you about the
Being
internship
proactive.
thing. You want to start before yeah.
Yes.
There is a proverb that says you
You don't prepare on the day. Is it that one?
you dig a well before you become thirsty. Right? Yeah, you
Ooh.
don't dig a well when you're thirsty, right? You dig it before you become thirsty. So you want to leverage any information, right? The NIW stuff that I did, right? So I came in here for a doctoral program, and technically I should just stay in the program and get a doctorate, right? But 2 years into my program, I got my master's. I didn't have to do that. But I did that because I had gone to OISS seminars and I've heard about NIW.
Wow.
And one of the conditions,
early as that time.
yeah, one of the conditions was you need an advanced degree,
degree,
which a master's is an advanced degree.
qualifies
So
you.
I needed to know that within the first year of being in this school, such that I can now go ask my departments, like, what are the requirements if I want to get a master's? And they told me, you have to take more classes and you have to write a master's thesis. If I had found that in my third year, that would not be possible, because by the third year I was done with classes.
Yes.
And my advisor was not going to pay for me, right? So because I knew that I had to take up more classes than my peers. So you needed 8 classes for the doctorate, but you need 10 classes. So I had to take 2 more classes within that 2 years, and also get a master's thesis, right? So that I can get it. And I got it after my 2 years. and I just kept it somewhere, waiting for the right time,
Oh my
right?
God.
So you want to ask questions
Mm.
and attend seminars so you can learn about things that you don't need yet,
Yes,
so you can
yes.
start preparing for them well
Yeah.
ahead of time.
It,
Um,
you see, like, Ugo, that's the whole reason why we are doing this channel, really.
mm,
Like, to give people information,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
this thing you're saying, self, like, it's as if I should go back and relive my grad school,
yeah.
honestly speaking, because,
Yeah, and again, that's the so you started here January 2019.
yeah,
I graduated December 2018.
yeah, yeah.
So I was actually starting my job that
When I
January
was just
when you
coming
started.
in,
And the other thing also was that the UD group here,
mhm.
it was mostly like the BGSA. We didn't have like
Yeah, there wasn't a vibrant group.
yeah,
Yes, I agree.
yeah.
Yes,
So
it was
some
just
of
a
those
handful of us
yeah,
here at that
yeah,
time.
it was I think it was, I don't know if you met Elvis. It was in chemical
You met
engineering.
Elvis.
Yeah, so I know we had conversation about it
Yeah.
then. So it happens when if there's no overlap, sometimes
Uh,
some of those information it doesn't
pass
get
away.
yeah.
Yeah, we hope not to lose it. Yeah, we hope not to
Yeah,
lose it. We hope
yeah,
not to lose it.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Sure,
Man,
sure.
this has been so helpful that
Mhm.
I'm really thinking, like, if I were to do another, anyway, I'm not going back to school. Assuming I was
Yeah,
to do
school
another,
is
like,
hard.
no, right? Oh
School is
my God, did
hard.
you hear that? Industry is sweeter.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I hope this has been very helpful. And Ugo, thank you so much. Like,
sure, sure.
we can't thank you enough on behalf of me and the
Yeah,
African community.
yeah,
Thank you for always.
sure.
Time past now and to come. Honestly,
Yeah,
thank you
and I
so
think
much.
this is
God
also
bless you.
like God's doing because I was just visiting Delaware for something else,
Wow. Oh my
right? And it
God.
was funny when you texted me and say, "Hey, can we do this?" I'm
Wow.
like, "I'm actually in Newark."
Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah, thank
yeah,
God for that.
it's nice.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, I can. You have my contacts, right?
Yes, yes, I
So
do. I
yeah, we
do.
can always keep in touch
Yeah,
and
I will. I
yeah,
will. I will. Thank you so much.
sure.
Like, we're very grateful.
All
God
right.
bless you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And safe trip back to your base, and God be with you and family as well.
Amen.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Take care.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Take
All right.
care.
Bye.
Bye.